Hello, everybody. Thank you so very much for clicking on. It is 11 p.m., the 10th day of May. For the past couple of days, been doing some updates on the fact that we had geomagnetic storms, um, coronal mass ejections directed towards Earth. There's some debate whether there are seven or eight at the moment. Um, At least one has already hit, and that happened around 12:30 this afternoon. My computer, my internet has been glitching at times, so this will be a relatively short live. And with that being said, let's get to it. Um, the first wave hit at, as I said, around 12:45 Eastern time this afternoon. It was a surprise when it reached level 3. Now, since that time, the amount of radiation has built up from that first initial blow. Um, Not sure yet whether that was one of the bursts or if two or three even combined together. But for whatever reason, enough radiation has been released into the atmosphere, basically, that an extreme G5 condition has been reached at 6:54 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, as you can see in the yellow on your screen. A geomagnetic storm is likely to persist through the weekend as several additional Earth-directed coronal mass ejections are in transit. So what that means is we're not really, there have been some sites that have gone down completely briefly. The internet will probably be impacted before the power grids are, simply because of the dependence on satellite transmissions with the internet. Um, so that is to be expected. However, it was a surprise when this first reached level 3. It kept going, and now we are in G5 or level 5. Again, this comes from the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA. Comes from the government. G5, level 5. Um, by the way, that's not like halfway to the top. G5 is the worst condition they're used to measuring. Now, this is a different situation. Um, you know, when they say, "Okay, tornadoes are coming," well, you can hear a tornado. You can see a tornado. You can smell the tornado. Um, when they say a blizzard is coming, you can measure it in inches. Is this really a blizzard? A volcano's about to erupt. You can see the smoke and the hissing. Um, a CME, not so much. A coronal mass ejection, the the only visual aspect is a beautiful thing called the Northern Lights or the Aurora Borealis. Um, that is the only way you can really tell a CME is present. So, with that being said, the lower the auroras go, farther away from the poles, the auroras move. That means radiation moving that way. Um, Normally, this does not happen. What we have right now is the first of, again. Let me reiterate what the yellow words down here say. Extreme conditions reached 6:54. Geomagnetic storming is likely to persist through the weekend as several additional Earth-directed coronal mass ejections or CMEs are in transit. Okay, so um, what does a G5 geomagnetic storm mean? Well, it's the first. Again, this is just the first blow. There are more on the way, but the first one has caused the biggest disruption seen in 21 years. Um, Impacts could be as followed: complete grid collapse or blackouts. And I'm going to stop here for just a second. Complete grid collapse or blackouts. Um, if if you've got really nice electronics, unplug them, stay off of them. Keep Just unplug anything you want to potentially save in your house for the next 72 hours. Um, I'm not saying your refrigerator or anything like that. I'm saying, your if you've got a really nice TV, if you've got a really nice um, computer setup, whatever it may be, because not only will there potentially be power outages as the lines get charged and potentially supercharged, but and I'm talking about the electric lines. Not only will there be outages, but there will be power surges and the potential for electrical charges to shoot into your electronics and fry them and potentially fry you. So um, I'm going to be on very limited as far as electronics over the next 72 hours. I'm not going to be doing a lot of lives. I will check in, and if something warrants, I will hop on and try to do as short as possible as of an update in order to not get any more disruption than possible. The potential impacts: widespread voltage control problems and protective system problems may occur. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, power surges. Some power grid systems may experience component failures or protective device trips, resulting in blackouts or disruptive of service. Pipeline currents can reach hundreds of amps. Spacecraft, they may experience anomalies. Navigation, GPS may be degraded or unavailable for days. And again, this is just the potential impact of this the first wave, if you will. And we have, depending on which expert you look at, we have up to 7 more waves coming. As far as radio transmission, high frequency radio propagation may be impossible for 1 or 2 days. The aurora may be seen as low as Florida, southern Texas, and southern California. Again, that's the only way we as the public can really gauge what is going on is, well, how bright is that aurora, until all of a sudden our gadgets and gizmos and things we depend on much more than we might realize suddenly disappear. Um, okay, again, as I said, we're not sure this one is directed this way just yet. While all the excitement is surrounding the ongoing geomagnetic storm, which is what I've been talking about, um, this sunspot produced a major 5.8. That's a fairly significant solar flare. 5.8 at 1:23 UTC. That is the standard time. Uh, um, it used to be called Greenwich Mean Time, and now it's called the Central. I don't know I don't remember what it was called, but this came in an hour ago. A major X 5.8 solar flare, and if this one is directed at us, this will be either 8 or 9, again, depending on which expert. Um, I've got a really cool shot of the one right before this one. Again, it, the analysis is. Let me run this back up. The analysis is still going on this one as to if it is headed towards Earth. It is a 5.89 X class flare. X meaning, basically the power of an X-ray. Um, there's something called the KP meter, and this is what we're looking at right now. And storms are considered potentially harmful when they get up to KP8, KP9, as we've been seeing the radiation build up from that, and then suddenly it shoots up to 11, which is near the top of the chart, no man's land, if you will. So I hope the government is paying attention. I'll just put it that way, because I believe the government will have to tell the mainstream media it's okay to talk about all this, so that people can protect themselves if we get to that level. Again, if you're just joining us, geomagnetic storm has reached the G5 level. That is extreme. First time in 21 years. Extreme conditions reached Earth 6:54 p.m. Geomagnetic storm likely to persist through the weekend. So this is just starting, as several additional Earth-directed coronal mass ejections are in transit. See, it's up for debate, or they would say, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it actually is. It's 7, 8, or 9 at this point, but at the moment it's just listed as several. Um, this guy showed us his telescope, and it's trained on the sun, and then through filters and camera, it comes down to the screen. Um, this is whoa, 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 whoa. We can't have that music. Um, Let me show this again so I can get the full 30-second break in here to get a quick drink. This is probably some of the best footage you'll ever see of what the surface of the sun potentially looks like. Let me run it back to the start. Here we go. Here's these telescope. It comes down, filtered into a camera, which is then downloaded onto the screen. And that's the sunspot that's zoomed in on an area that will eventually produce one of the sunbursts. It, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of a Van Gogh um, picture there at one point. So, all right, that's our little break from all the seriousness. Once again, the strongest auroras in 20 years are happening. I thought this was just too beautiful to uh, not to display here, and so that those of you that might not otherwise see it can get a look at what it looks like in the Alps with an aurora borealis, a strong one going on. As we get a 360. So it is magnificent. The lights are spectacular if you do get to see them. Um, I'm under cloud cover here at the moment and have been all night, so I do not know if they have reached where I'm at. Um, Earlier this afternoon, this came in from the DoD, Department of Defense, from the for the East region, closely tracking a rare geomagnetic storm that may disrupt essential services. possible disruptions, power, GPS, vehicle telematics, and the internet. Keep a flashlight, extra batteries handy. Avoid electronic devices during the storm. Have a backup power source. Stay informed by following authorities, local authorities, news updates, and it was from the East Region Emergency Management Action Officer. Um, this is the Austria mountains. Um, they have this is one of their cams, a permanent camera, and intense white pillars coming down in the background. Incredible shot. And just as I said, okay, as I said, let me see if I can get this pulled up here, paused. Make sure we don't have any sound. Um, the one thing that we can measure are the auroras. We can see with our own eyes as far as the impacts of a CME. And tonight it is uh, above a K9 event. This was predicted earlier, and it was covering, as you can see, Northern California all the way across um, to just above the Carolinas. And if it were the same size as the Carrington event, which it could end up being, the auroras will be down around Hawaii and Cuba. So let's give this a watch real quick here. I don't want the music. All right, no music. Again, um, this was what was expected at this time. Now this is it's come way down here. It is a lot closer than it is in this graph. Um, I've got a shot of that we're going to show coming up here to close things out. That was one of the sunbursts, and again you can see where it is expected as of now. Again, that was earlier. It's now expected to go much lower. That is an X4. Remember, we just showed that about an hour ago, an X5 went off, and we do not yet know whether it was directed towards Earth or not. But nonetheless, we do know that several more are. Um, and did I run this through? Okay, here we go. All right, so it has not reached the level of the Carrington event yet. Um, it does not mean we will not reach that level by the time this is over in the next 2 or 3 days. Hopefully, we do not. I've got this up here just so you can see. This is where we are normally at over here in the green, and you get up to where you got an unsettled amount of radiation. Then you've got an active, it starts the active portion of the chart, and it goes up G1, level one, up to G5, where we are now. We were not at the time of this posting. We are now. If you're just joining us, we are at the G5 level, and this thing has just begun. Um, there's a site called thousandeyes.com, outages, and this shows areas of the U.S. that are dealing with internet outages in real time in case something does start to happen and you want to track where things might be potentially going on. That's the site to do it. And we're going to end on this. This is the last flare to come out this morning. So this was, I think this was 7 before the ones we just saw, 8 and 9. But again, an incredibly, I think probably this gives us the best concept of what we're dealing with here. Um, the power, the size, and and the speed at which it is ejected. Uh, uh, so while we can't see him like a tornado or a blizzard or you know a tidal wave or a flood or something else. These are radioactive plasma particles from the sun, and the bigger the auroras, the bigger the potential problems, including physical problems to people. Um, I've talked about it on this show before. We are basically, uh, w- we have electricity. We are electric people. We feel vibrations. We are, if somebody's heart stops, you get an electrical device and you pump electricity in to try to jumpstart their heart. And our brain has these little synapses, these little electrical currents going back and forth between the nerves, allowing communication. So we are electrical people, and if it affects the electrical grid, it has the potential to affect us. Um, in psychological ways as well as potential physical ways. So we can't take this lightly. Um, Thus far, no major outages to report, which is a great thing. However, this is just beginning. So we are at G5. There are more incoming. And if something does happen of major significance, I will get back on here and let you know as soon as I know. And until then, I'm going to say it's a dark world. Try to be a light, and I will be back as warranted. Love y'all. Stay safe. Don't panic. Don't be paranoid. Just be prepared. Love y'all. See you next time.